Hello and welcome. I am Evan. I'm joined by Clint and Ryan.
Where are we, Evan?
Duck Blur.
We're in Duckburg playing DuckTales Remastered.
Yeah.
DuckTales!
We tried recording this a minute ago, and the game broke when we went into...
Let's go to the gallery.
The gallery. So I'm not going to go into the gallery.
Hey, you got two extra minutes of playing time, though.
That's true.
Evan, I think you should tack that on to the end of the video.
I already deleted it.
It's in your recycle bin still.
It is. I might do that. It depends on if I remember. But let's just play some DuckTales. Okay. Best thing about DuckTales. Said in the last video, saying it in this one. It's this part.
Still so good.
Where you dive into the money pit.
Needs to be bigger.
It does not... I feel like this should be designed where this naturally gets bigger the more cash you collect. It does not. It always stays. But I do like the plummet.
You know what game does do that?
What?
Fable 3.
That's true.
That's a good point.
But you can't swim in it.
You can run up it, though, and get treasure.
Yeah, but that's not... It's fun.
So this is a completed game save. Spoilers, I guess.
Let's go to the moon.
Okay. I played this game for about 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours, and I beat it, so...
No, but it said an hour and a half.
Interesting you should bring that up, Ryan. So I would assume that what that means is that the playtime doesn't count all the continues and restarts. So that means I played for 5 hours, but actually I only made forward progress for an hour and a half of that time.
Huh. That,
yeah. Because there's a 7-level game.
Oh man, these are all just the greatest characters from DuckTales.
All your favorites.
Yeah? We got Gyro Gearloose and Fenton Crackshell? I mean, seriously.
It's my latest invention. Oxygen-flavored
So there's a lot of this in this game.
Oh, Gyro. He cracks me up.
There's a lot of people talking real slow. And I guess, so, basically, I think DuckTales on the NES is one of the best NES games. I have no affinity for the show. I never watched it. So,
you're missing out.
you know, I don't think that if I watched it now, I'd feel like I would be missing out. It's possible that I was missing out when I was, 8. But for now, Fenton just got abducted. Or no, that's Gyro Gearloose got abducted.
Nope.
No, that was Fenton.
Yep.
I don't fucking know. They're all ducks.
It's also known as Gizmo Duck.
I know. That may come into play later in this level.
Ooh.
So, a lot of this game feels like it's trying to sort of cater nostalgia toward the cartoon. Like, they have all the original voice actors and... Okay, well, hold on. Let's listen to this music. Because it is actually probably my favorite remix in the game. I don't like a lot of them, but this one's pretty good.
that sounds really good.
Yep. It adds the right, I think, sort of, like, cinematic instrumentation to the base of the Moon music, which is some of the best music. Hold on, wait. Shut up, Scrooge. I want it. That's the best part of the Moon music. Whatever. So this game is constantly, like, stopping you mid-level and having you, like, listen to people talk. Like, that happens a lot. And I think the voice acting is all pretty shitty. Once again, somebody who has an affinity for the cartoon may disagree, because these are the original cartoon voice actors.
It's almost like voice actors 24 years after the fact should probably not be recording the same voices.
Yeah.
Huey, Louie, and Dewey still sound pretty much the same, though.
I guess I just never, like, in my head, pictured Scrooge McDuck as Scottish. Like, that was just never a thing. I always thought of him as more of, like, a high-class, like, ravenous American businessman.
Did you never watch the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol?
I didn't.
Well, Scrooge McDuck was in that.
So you have a map in this. Almost all of the levels feature you having to collect things or pieces to get to the boss room.
What's hard pogo?
So hard pogo, okay, yeah. So hard pogo means that it's like original DuckTales, where you have to jump and then press down and X when you're near the ground again. Soft pogo, which is how I played it, means just at any point you can hit X in the air and start pogoing.
Hey,
And you
hey
can just
Ryan.
hold X.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, how do you like your pogo? Softcore or hardcore?
Oh, I love hard. Dude, who wouldn't want a hard pogo?
Yeah, and at this point I'm just holding down X
Okay.
to jump around. So, I should say, I think the sprites in this game look excellent.
Yeah.
Like, the animation. I really do not care for the rest of it. Just sort of this weird, like, boxy, polygonal level design. It feels
It
very
almost looks like they tried to do
narrow
like a Paper Mario, but without the charm of it being Paper Mario.
Yeah, I guess I'm just confused as to why they didn't commit further to the 2D stuff. Like, I don't understand why this has to be sort of a 2.5D thing.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
agree.
looks, because it just doesn't look as good, and it makes the sprites sort of stand out in a weird way against the rest of the level.
Plus, if it was all 2D with like really well drawn 2D background, which that might be why they didn't do it, but because that would take too long. But it would look so good, just almost exactly like the show, probably.
Yeah, and like the sprites look so good, like
Yeah.
just the animation on them, and I really enjoy it. But this game feels a lot narrower than DuckTales on the NES did, and I'm not sure if that's just because like the camera's more pulled out or something. But just like the NES game, you'd have. It felt bigger, even though it probably technically wasn't. Like, I don't like how I can see the top and bottom of this screen right now.
Sure.
Is basically what I'm getting at. So now I need to go hit all these levers to shut off the anti-gravity stuff.
Gravity system restored. All systems normal.
Nice work, Mr. McDuck. Now, let's go.
So there's kind of a lot of this. There's kind of a lot of talking. Here's the button I used for a good portion of it. The skip cinematic button. To just get back into it. So I rescued him. Now I can go explore the map for these other pieces. So this isn't really a, for lack of a better term, Metroidvania game. Like
Right.
there are health upgrades scattered throughout the levels. But hold on, let me get that treasure chest. But beyond that, it's pretty much just an action game.
So it says skip cinematics. Are there any like hard animated cinematics like the TV show, or is it just like in the
No,
level?
I think it's all in the level, if I recall correctly. This game also exists in this really weird space where I don't know, like, precisely who it's for, because it clearly isn't. Like, it's the same levels largely as the 5 base levels are the 5 levels in the original DuckTales. But the level layouts are similar but not identical. And I like, it's not a remake, but it also doesn't. I don't know that it has enough new stuff to really stand on its own. It's like I think people who have played the original DuckTales will be dissatisfied by some of these changes, and I think people who haven't played the original DuckTales won't get much out of it either. I just don't.
What about for like kids that like this kind of humor could be targeted towards?
But like, how does the DuckTales brand like go to kids now? Like, kids don't know about DuckTales, do
Right,
they?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it seems just from the 2 cutscenes we saw, or the couple cutscenes we saw, it seems like the writing is geared towards more kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it is based on DuckTales, so that is a kids show, so naturally the writing will be of that
But like, would
variety.
the difficulty be a bar for younger kids?
Certainly on normal. On easy, I mean, I don't really know, because there doesn't seem to be a way to change difficulty mid game. Like when I said new game and chose my difficulty, that seemed to be the final word on it. But this is a difficult game, I'd say, and not in a way that feels especially. It feels kind of artificial, like as we saw with the playtime thing. Like that was need to figure out where I'm going with the right. That was a good indicator of how much of this game is just replaying a level and how much of it is facing like a new challenge. Because you only get 3 continues, 3 lives, and then they just kick you back to the beginning of the level.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about
Which,
that.
is
Actually, I know how I feel about that. That's not good.
Yeah, it sort of brings things to a halt, and it almost makes it just like this sort of, because it's never like this is a 2-button game. They made DuckTales. Like, you jump with A, and then with B or X you pogo. That's it. So with that in mind, like, I don't think it's a mechanical difficulty. I think it's very much just, I need to go through this level enough so I remember where the enemies are, and so I know the challenges that are ahead of me, and I can just get through it without losing a life. Because, I mean, it's really frustrating when you get to, like, a boss on 1 life, and you don't know what the boss is going to do, and it kills you, and you have to go back, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the levels aren't short, by any means. They could last anywhere from, like, 10 to 30 minutes, I'd say. Having to replay them all. Something that would be good in the NES days, not so much anymore. That's right. So, like, this part here is taken straight out of the original DuckTales. Like, I remember this screen in DuckTales, where you have to pogo on those spikes that are floating in midair with those blocks.
Right.
But I don't, like, it's not, it's just sort of this weird haphazard stitching together of things that do seem to be just reskinnings and things that are new. And I can't say I know what they're going for, because it certainly doesn't feel like a modern game. Like, the continue stuff and the difficulty and just the way it plays does feel very old in a lot of cases. Which might be more excusable were this like a straight-up remake, but...
And it's $15?
It is. $15 on... It's on everything. So
Except
it's on,
for Xbox.
Yeah, it's coming out for Xbox later.
September 11th.
September...
Always remember.
Never forget DuckTales.
Never forget the release of DuckTales.
But it's out on PC and PlayStation and Wii U. I was especially surprised that it was out on Wii U. So I guess I'm surprised when anything is out on Wii U.
As you should be. Like, rightly so.
Okay, so I got all 3 pieces of Gizmo Duck's, like, armor.
Good job.
Put it on.
Well, I'm not going to put it on, but I know
Yeah, you
someone.
gotta give it to Fenton Crackshell.
I know someone who will want to give that a look.
I think you should just put it on.
Nah.
Also, there persist in being some weird frame rate issues on the video. I want to say that is not of my problems with DuckTales. Frame rate, especially on the PC, which is where I've played it, is not one of them. So that's something weird with our capture setup. So now
Gizmo Duck!
Now Gizmo Duck is rolling.
Oh man,
with me.
Gizmo Duck was always awesome.
He's just
Because he's an accountant and a bodyguard.
yeah, that is pretty awesome. The invincibility music is the same. So there's that for people who like DuckTales.
It's not the Mario invincibility music. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it is.
So are you saying for fans of the genre?
For fans of the genre of DuckTales, this is like a worse one of those.
Oh,
So I died.
good job.
I feel pretty solid about that. But I'm gonna keep. So wait.
Look at that pretty painting of the moon in the background.
Wait, where's Gizmo? I guess he'll be where I died?
Oh, Gizmo, that silly
I
goose.
hope he's not.
He's not a goose, he's a duck. What am I saying?
Yeah, that was silly of you. But you still have this ongoing, like, collect jewels and diamonds to... You get ice cream cones to refill your hearts.
Nice.
There's Gizmo.
What's up, Giz?
And all of the money goes towards some concept art stuff that we'll look at.
Maybe.
Maybe, depending on if it breaks the game again. And I don't... The original DuckTales, one of the things was there was, like, different endings based on how much money you had. I don't know if that's in here.
That I read that on the Steam page, I think.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably...
Let
The
me
ending
make
I
sure.
got, there was, like, a newspaper headline, so it might just be that the newspaper headline is different.
Great.
But I don't know. There might be, like, a whole lot else.
Step aside, citizen, whilst I blast the door asunder.
Oh, Gizmo.
It's
I
just
want to
like...
go.
Just look at how good those sprites look, and then look at that platform that the chain is hanging off of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... It's such a weird decision.
So
Oh,
you're
shit.
saying the quack is not back?
The quack is not back. It's Flint Heart Gold, you guys.
Oh no, what's he doing here?
He's mucking shit up.
Ah, he's gonna take all your gold.
Why, you... How did you find
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah, I did not. I've probably already watched more cutscene in this video than I watched playing the game. Because I just found it all really tedious. Once again, fans of the show might disagree with me. But, I guess I went into this expecting more of the new stuff to be sort of catering to like someone who is into the game and not someone, because I feel like a lot of the new stuff here is trying to play off nostalgia for the show and not really for the game.
Beagle Boys.
Yep, they're all up in this.
Oh,
You just
no.
noticed they were there.
Magica Dispel is in the mix.
Oh no.
As is Launchpad McQuack.
Oh, it's like because her name is Magic and the spell.
The spell, yeah. It's like that.
It's like a play on words.
Oh, wait, is there a secret up here? Yeah. Most of the secrets in this game that I found were just this. Which is you go up and then you, like, bounce, then you find a...
Look at that. There's a super big treasure chest.
I got a heart. I guess I hadn't found that before, that's nice. One of the weird things about this game is that when you're playing it the first time, now that I've completed it, I can access every level, but it seemed like when I was playing it the first time I couldn't go back to a level after I'd cleared it. Which makes the... It put me in this tough spot where, like, I wasn't looking for any heart containers, and then the last level was giving me a lot of trouble, and I couldn't go back to get them.
Wow.
Which is weird. I need that cheese.
That seems like a very weird design decision.
Yeah.
Ew, moldy cheese. No, don't eat it. You'll turn into a space rat.
This whole game is just sort of bizarre, like in the way it's made and who it's for and what it's trying to be.
Is that a Star Trek reference?
Oh, please ask me.
I mean, I don't know if he's trying to be Scotty when he says Great Scott, but
Probably not. That's not an exclusively Star Trek thing. It might as well be a Back to the Future reference.
that too.
So this boss, I just kind of hit him with my pogo.
You can just hang out up on that ledge when he tries to attack. Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah, he jumps up there sometimes. I found that when he goes into this mode, at least while I was playing it, he wasn't up there very much. So I just sort of, well, sometimes but it's not very. This is one of the easier bosses in the game, I'd say.
Yep.
Are there any
How are
race
the
cars?
bosses?
I'll take those questions one at a time. Let's start with Clint.
Are there any race cars?
Are there any race cars? No.
Lasers?
Maybe?
Aeroplanes?
Yeah, there's some of those. Ryan.
How are the bosses?
I mean, they're... I think I'm sort of over boss fights in video games, largely.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's sort of an inherently antiquated thing at this point, but, I mean, they're not bad. They're just kind of... A lot of them are very simplistic. Simplistic in a way that's especially infuriating, where it's just this, like, basic pattern you need to figure out, and sometimes if you don't figure it out, you have to restart the level and do it again, just to get back there to figure out the pattern. That design decision makes it sort of hard to condone, but I killed the rat. Well, I
You
didn't
got
kill it.
cheese.
You just shrunk it.
Giant
I just
moon
shrunk it.
rat or no giant moon rat, nothing's gonna keep this duck from that green cheese and all the green.
This guy just sounds so tired.
Yeah.
The guy
Well,
voicing...
24 years later.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like that on the show. I mean, he sounds like that, but he doesn't sound like that.
I'm trying to think of what else there is to show off. That's pretty much it. Well, you can see here I collected the green cheese of longevity.
Good job. Now jump in the vault and see that green cheese.
I don't think it'll be in there. Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, but what about Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
They can fuck right off. Okay. Yeah, no green cheese, because I've already beaten it. But we can take a look at the concept art stuff and maybe
Oh,
pop
you have a
into
couple
another.
extra crystals in there.
Yeah, maybe.
That's nothing.
It's just weird that they let me go back now to get those heart containers when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When, like, there's no... So I've unlocked some stuff. I unlocked all the character art.
Yeah!
This might actually be my favorite part, because they sort of show you, like, up there what it looked like in the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And then the art just looks so good that
Yeah, it
you
does.
just stare at it for a while. Here's a launch pad.
Oh, he's so awesome.
You would do in Louis.
Yep.
That
forgot-
girl.
Abigail.
I-
Webby.
Webby. Some gizmo action.
You bet.
I don't know who that is.
Bubba the Cave Duck?
Okay. Fenton. Is that
Yep.
his name?
No.
Is that Gyro Gearloose?
That's Gyro.
Okay. That's Miss Beakley?
Mrs. Beakley, yeah, and then that's that's Duckworth the butler. He's a dog.
She shows up sometimes in levels to, like, give you a one-up if you find a secret place.
Nice.
Some Beagle Boys.
Beagle Boys.
Some fucking Flint.
Camp.
Flint.
Glam.
Mick.
Glam gold. I
Mick
don't
Flint
Duck.
Heart Glom Gold.
Sorry.
Glam gold. That's it.
Magica Dispel. The most attractive duck. Clearly.
So hot.
She has back issues.
Male gaze.
A whole bunch of enemy
Whole
characters.
bunch of enemies, yes, more enemies. Mummies come back. A lot of the enemies in this game, which also true to the NES version, but once again, what they do that's true to the NES version, what they don't is sort of arbitrary. But they just kind of walk back and forth. Like, the AI is extremely rudimentary, as it,
Almost like it's trying to be a NES game.
an NES game, and they do like the Mega Man respawn thing where you go off screen a little bit and come back, and they're just right back there.
Wait, are there Mighty Ducks in this?
Mighty
game?
Ducks. No, they're the duck hockey players, though.
Those are Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
Emilio Estevez directed this game. I don't know if you know that.
Here's Duckula. I still don't know if his name is Duckula, but that's clearly what his name should be.
Quackula.
I don't-
I'm a fan of Quackula.
But it's worse. It's
I
worse
like
than
Quackula.
Duckula.
I like Quackula.
'Cause
better.
Dracula, Quackula.
Yeah, it rhymes more.
Right. It also starts with a Q and a U instead of a D.
So
I'm just saying they are two.
So at that point, it can go either way.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm not saying that yours is a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying
I think that is.
like
I think
mine a
that
little
is
bit
what
better
you're.
than
I think
yours.
that is what
can
you're
you
saying.
can you unlock some of that TV show art?
No. Because
Why not?
this category has not yet been unlocked. Spend more money on
Oh,
gallery
okay.
purchases to unlock more categories. I can
Spend a whole
buy.
bunch of money.
I can buy this last piece of concept art that I
Yeah,
didn't
do that.
get.
Can you click on one? Okay, you see, that looks awesome. I would play the game that had that.
Yeah. Like, a lot of this looks really good. It's just it's specifically how rigid and rectangular and sort of like narrow everything looks within the game that I
Right.
dislike. Like, it has very little personality outside of the. This all
Right.
looks really cool.
Loses that Disney flavor.
So
Look
it's
at that.
literally better in concept than execution.
Yeah, why don't look at that fucking castle?
Yeah, it looks so
Put
cool.
that in the game, Jesus! It is all so much better than what they. I'd even take that.
Can you? I just want to see if there's like, if you can unlock some of that music, if it's like a sing-along version of the music.
Right, I don't think I'll be able to. I will buy some more stuff and I will try to get there, but no promises. We might dump into another level though. Show some stuff off.
We should dump into Amazon if we dump into anything.
Okay.
The first level of DuckTales. A woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's sort of what the money is going toward. Let's go with the Amazon. The Amazon music remix, I'm not as big a fan of.
No?
Let's hear what they have to say.
Launchpad on the horn. I'm headed to the Amazon jungle
Launchpad.
to find the scepter of the Incan king.
So in this one, there are 9 coins that you need to find that are in chests, like around the level.
Mm.
Okay.
And then when you get that, you can go to the boss, basically.
And do
On
all
the lift, Launchpad.
levels have something like that?
Basically, like the Himalayas, you crash land, and Launchpad, the goof that he is, drops all the repair materials, so you have to go look for them.
Oh, I'd be happy if you just keep your eyes on the sky for once. What an airhead.
He is an airhead.
Now then, ancient Incan legends claim the king's scepter.
Launchpad
Okay.
doesn't really sound like I remember.
I also don't think Scrooge sounds like he usually does.
No, we've already been over that part. I'm just.
No, I mean, like, a lot worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Amazon remix. It's got like a flute thing.
You should stop going backwards so that guy doesn't spawn anymore.
I was getting the treasure. You want me to try to unlock some fucking music? I gotta get
Yeah.
treasure.
Okay.
So every time you pick up one of these coins in this level, there's a part where Scrooge McDuck tells you about the coin.
I'm not even going to dignify that question with a response.
Okay.
It's mine.
There are these guys.
Does Donald Duck show up at any point?
Nope. Donald Duck isn't involved in DuckTales.
Yeah, he is. He's in the first episode.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
He's all like, "Take my, take my nephews because I have to go travel the world and I can't watch them anymore."
And this one has
And Scrooge is like, "Oh, but why do I have to do it?"
That's true.
And then Huey
And then he
Louie-
just exploits them for money.
yeah, that's exactly what he does.
So there's another case where like this looks almost shockingly like the Amazon level
Yeah,
in terms of layout, but it's not quite.
yeah.
Like, it's just slightly different. It's a really bizarre thing. But I feel like I'd be a lot more accepting of this game and its faults if it didn't clearly have the ambition to be its own thing. Like, if this was just a straight up-res of DuckTales, then some allowances might be made. Also, if it were less than $15 and an up-res of DuckTales.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it's worth the price tag?
I mean, once again, I've never really been a person to recommend things based on price, but I would say no by most people's standards. I mean, I beat it in 4 to 5 hours, and as the playtime thing showed, only an hour and a half of that was spent, like, seeing new things. And even then, they weren't new things, because they're all just the same fucking levels from DuckTales. So, I mean, I guess if you're really hankering for some more DuckTales, and you don't want to seek out a way to play the original DuckTales, then I guess you could play this and have an alright time with it. I don't think it's terrible. Like, the controls and everything feel basically the same as they did on the NES. Although sometimes the pogo is less responsive. So
Decades later,
yes.
Pogo is less responsive.
I mean, that also depends on how hard your pogo is.
That's I mean, that's just that LCD latency, yo.
Yeah. But I mean, if you were really good at, like, on easy, I hear that they just give you unlimited continues and twice the hearts. So if you played it on that, you could probably beat this game in, like, under an hour. Given that on normal, my thing says an hour and a half, like, I bet. And once again, that is faithful to the NES version. I just think that sort of devotion might be a little, they take it a little too far in some spots, and not far enough in other spots.
Sure.
Like, for instance, I wish there was a toggle I could hit where I could just hear the music from the original DuckTales, instead of the remixed version. Like, more stuff, more options in regards to the old DuckTales might help. But at that point, why am I even playing this?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to see any more DuckTales.
Are you sure? We're about to. I just got all the coins. We're about to go see a
Ugh.
boss.
Let's see the boss and then.
Okay.
Put
We'll see the
DuckTales
boss.
to rest.
I'll try to unlock some more stuff and see if that opens up any music. And then we'll call it. Oh, this is actually a pretty fun animation when you get stuck in the.
That was pretty good.
Or stuff like that would be good. Or like cool 2D. So like there, I dropped off of the vine and I hit X and it didn't. The pogo didn't pop when it should have. The hard pogo.
Now, is there like a technique to your pogoing, or is it kind of just?
No, it's just sort of spray and pray.
Yeah.
With the with the pogo, it's just like I mean, there's definitely parts later on where like you have to get across a lava pit and there are enemies popping out of the lava that you need to pogo on to get across. And in that case, there's sometimes some stuff that you need to do to get. Yeah, but I guess I was always sort of skeptical of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when they announced new DuckTales, everybody seemed really psyched, and I understand why, because DuckTales for the NES is a fucking awesome game. But
DuckTales for the PC, 360, PS3, and other current consoles, not so much.
It's just like, it's one of those situations where I don't know what they're going. This game was clearly made with a lot of love. This game was clearly made by people who really like DuckTales and really wanted to make a DuckTales game that sort of preys upon your nostalgia for DuckTales, but at a point, like, this is worse, so why wouldn't you just try to go play the original DuckTales? I guess I don't know DuckTales what its availability is on like the virtual console or anything, so it's possible this is like the only legitimate way to get your approximate of DuckTales business. But
DuckTales
is this
is
on
not.
Wii U?
yeah, it's on Wii U.
Yes.
DuckTales is the original DuckTales is not on virtual console.
Okay, so I guess to an extent, like, if you want that kind of experience, this does play basically the same as that. But it's one of those situations where, like, DuckTales is an awesome game in context and in terms of ambition, and, like, this, I don't think... Here's Mrs. Beakley, by the way. This game does not, I think, up its ambition enough for the modern era. When there are so many awesome action platformers you can buy on these services for even less than $15, like, it is a bit rich to ask someone to play this game out of nostalgia for that game alone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Watching you play through this gives me no interest into playing it.
Yeah, it's just sort of this. It's kind of dull. Like, it doesn't... Like, whenever it's... What I mean about the artificial difficulty is, like, I'm playing this now after having beaten this level, and it's not even slightly difficult for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I have... I certainly haven't had to use a continue in this entire video, just because, once again, hour and a half, 7 levels, but I played for 5 hours, so that means that a lot of that time was just spent repeating these environments. And when you do that for long enough, it just becomes like a cakewalk, which is sort of where this is right now.
Would either of you like to guess at voice actor of Scrooge McDuck, Alan Young's age?
I'm gonna go like late 50s.
Okay, Ryan, you got a guess?
I'm gonna go 76.
Alright, you are both wrong.
Okay.
He is, in fact, 93 years old.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Price is Right rules, I win. I want to play Plinko.
So I wish I was playing Plinko. Wish I was playing Plinko instead of DuckTales.
So there you go.
That's, I mean, I guess he doesn't do a very good job.
Not at 93.
I mean, yeah, I don't mean to, like, kick someone while they're down, but,
Living to 93 is down.
he gives it his all. He clearly believes in the spirit of Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck, I should say, big fan.
He's been voicing the character since 1983, so...
Like, I'm more familiar with... I have a lot of, like, old color Disney comics with Scrooge McDuck. Just like him on the cover, like, fucking wallowing in his money pit.
Yeah.
And I really like how cynical a character Scrooge McDuck is. So here's... I should amend... One of my problems with the bosses is they all sort of go on too long. Like, it does not follow the standard 3-hit Nintendo rule. So, like, this guy, I might dump out of here before even beating him. Because you do that, and then you have to go through this a couple times. This kind of, like, dodge the things that are trying to crush you. And you have to do this probably 5 or 6 times before you beat him.
Wow.
Will you get all your money if you dump out?
Probably not.
That's a good question. We'll see. Any unsaved progress will be lost, so I'm gonna say no.
You had over 500,000, I think.
So let's see. So that's DuckTales. You can buy it on Steam, Wii U, PS3, Xbox 360.
On
in
September
a month.
11th.
On
Never
September
forget.
11th. Never forget.
Never forget.
I really...
Let's pour one out for DuckTales.
I guess,
Woo-hoo.
yeah, I admire the effort here, but it doesn't feel planned out. It feels a little... not enough.
But you can't deny that theme song.
The theme song's real good.
So-
Well, hold on, actually, because I think personally that the theme song I will always prefer is actually the original on the NES. Yeah, listen to that. That's what I'm talking about right there. Thanks for joining me, Clint and Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm glad that I was here or not.
Well, now you know whether or not you want to buy DuckTales Remastered.
Yeah, that's true.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
DuckTales, a woohoo!